Hey friends, welcome back to another adventure. I'm Dustin with Dusty Outdoors, and this week we got something a little different planned. I'm gonna be on the family farm, AKA my dad's land. Not at the back 40 site though. Some of you OG subscribers know about the back 40. It's a camp spot I got out on the farm that is kind of by an old harvester. Anyhow, we're not camping there. We're going out probably a quarter to a half mile away on the north side of the property, out in some woods, and we're gonna be camping off grid there. Gonna have a fire, hope to have some hot dogs and stuff over the fire. But before we get there, I got some cameras to move and batteries to put in them and SD cards to change. I'll admit I am guilty. I never actually brought my cameras in from last year. I don't know if I'm the only one that does that, but life just gets busy after hunting season for me with holidays and whatnot, and I just don't bring my cameras in. I'm guilty of it almost every year. We're gonna take care of them now, get them into some new spots, and sometime later on in the video, we'll see if these have any footage of them. Batteries are dead for sure, but I bet they ran for 3-4 months after I stopped checking them. So we'll definitely show you any footage or pictures that was captured. Moving forward, I'll try to put new and fresh video from these cameras in every video. So this particular camera is mounted on a fence post. And friends, I mean to tell you, that is luck. So about 2 months ago, this dead elm, actually that looks like an old oak tree. This old oak tree actually fell. It fell right where it is, out into the road. You can see where we had to cut it. Look at how close that was to my camera. Like, it's insane. So, lucked out there. Watch our son Freddie discover the fallen tree and how close it was to the camera.
Hey! Look at the trail cam! Oh!
There we go. All right, friends, so I got SD cards and a whole lot of batteries. So each one of these cameras takes 8 batteries. It does last a long time though. It lasts like 6 months. And that's with taking video. Here's a little opening. Right over there, I got a blind, a tent for hunting. There we got a camera. So this one we're leaving here. I just got to replace the card and the batteries. So this is always a pretty good camera because right over here, there's some low-hanging branches and whatnot. And it's always a pretty good spot for, I just slipped on a rotten apple. So lots of apple trees down in here. I mean, really, it's like, this little area is like a deer heaven. So that's an apple tree. That's an apple tree. Down over the hill, there's 3 or 4 apple trees. You can see the apples on the ground there. But this is what I wanted to show you. All these little low-hanging branches here, the bucks like to rub their horns in it and rub their glands on it. And then there's always scrapes under it, which you can see there's kind of a very small one right now. And that could be residual from last year because it will get just to be a massive scrape. This is kind of a bottlenecked area where the deer travel from our north side of the farm to our southeast side of the farm. This camera still has battery. I am not kidding you. 2 out of 3 bars of battery, friends. It's got 987 videos on it. That is insane. And it's literally taking a video of me right now. I did not expect that to still be charged. We'll put a new SD card in it. The card I just put in has room for 536 videos. There's currently 0 on it. I'm trying to remember when the last time I put batteries in that was. Had to have been last year about this time. Maybe a little bit later in the year, but it was definitely before snowfall. In case you're wondering, these are Browning brand trail cameras from Cabela's, Bass Pro Shop, same thing these days. So this is a Browning Strike Force Full HD model BTC 5F HD, just in case you're wondering. I've had nothing but good luck with these. No, they don't send pictures to your phone and stuff like that. You gotta walk out, change the camera card. I'm fine with that. You see that? This one still has battery too. This one only has 1 bar though, out of 3. So we'll change the battery in that. That's insane. So according to this one has 837 videos. That'll take a while to go through. Friends, I can't get over that. That's nuts. I was totally not expecting those to still be going. I've had many, many different cameras throughout my life. Cheap, always generally on the cheap side. Some Walmart trail cameras. These ones were probably the most I've spent on cameras, like I say, from Cabela's. And I've definitely had amazing luck with these, and they take really good picture. You can set them up so that they just take a certain amount of time, like a 15, 10 second, 15, 20 second video. I have mine set up where if something's moving, it will continue to film until it's like out of frame, basically. Back out into this opening. Again, on that tree is where the camera we just refreshed. So it should be taking video of me right now walking. Uh-oh. Looks like my tent had a little collapse up here. What in the world? Must have had a bit of a windstorm. It's all staked down. All right, tent's definitely seen better days, but still gets the job done. I'm just gonna put these stakes back down in quick. Oh, there, that's pretty solid. So now we're coming down into this little dip here. We're gonna have to go down on the other side of this tree line. You can see there's like a waterway there. We're gonna have to walk to the end of that. I can't remember if I have a camera down there or not. Could go up around the cornfield that way and down. I could potentially have a camera there. Can't remember if it's down this way or down the other way. Okay, so this is not the camera that I thought was down here. I thought I had one of my other Browning cameras down here. This is one of the Spy Point cameras from Walmart that I got. Now this one will send pictures to my phone. But per usual, it'll send like 10 free ones per month. And if you want it to send more than that, then you got to pay for a plan. And the plans just go up like 100 pictures per month. Costs X amount, and you can go all the way up to unlimited pictures per month. Right there's a tree stand. So this little strip of woods here is only about maybe 75 yards wide, and then it's another field over there. And this is kind of the other bottlenecked area of woods where they can get from the east side of our farm to the west side of our farm. Okay, so I'm not going to change that. And that's got me pretty certain that I already have another Browning camera on the north side of the farm where we're going to stay tonight. So that means I am going to put the camera on the fence post over here somewhere, just to see what's coming through the east and west side of that little meadow that my tent's in. So, man, I'd like it to look over there maybe even. So I could put it, so if we keep walking up that way, my tent's right up over there. So then the deer come from this way and this way, over there. That's a big apple tree, and every year the bucks will be right back in that little, I don't know what you want to call it, little holler. I think I'll set the camera right here. So that way it gets anything coming down this way, it gets anything coming out from over here. It'll catch everything that is milling around and eating right in here. And even anything that comes through here always comes through right here to get through. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna unscrew this camera so that I'm not pounding this post in with the camera attached to it. Then I'm gonna get this hammer. And this hammer, friends, is just a little hammer. It looks like it, but this is what some might consider a BFH. This little hammer is homemade, obviously, solid steel, and it weighs 7.5 or 8 pounds. I think it's 7.5, but it packs a punch. We'll try that right there. Okay, it says it's got room for, I don't know if it's videos or pictures. It's set on video. It says it's got room for 1,074. I don't know about that. There's the camera, friends. Right here. We got low-hanging vines. Look what's under it. Scrape. This is a heavily traveled corridor for bucks, which is why I set up here. And that has been scraped on this year. So that's pretty awesome. And then look at that. Look at the apples here, friends. I know in a lot of states it's legal to bait deer, to put feed out for deer. I think even in the northern portion of Wisconsin, you can legally bait. But down here in the Southwest, it is illegal to bait deer. It's illegal to feed deer, period, any time of the year. All right, now let's get into the meat and potatoes of this video. Let's get over to the north side where we're gonna camp tonight and change the batteries and card, one last camera, start our relaxing evening off-grid out in the woods. You can't really see it, but right over that little knoll right there is the back 40 campsite. We're gonna turn the truck around, head back up, out to the main highway. We're gonna go north on that highway, half a mile, quarter mile actually, and go down another field road. It's actually a town road, but there's nothing back there other than our property. There's no destination back there. It just happens to be a town road, just like my dad's driveway also is a town road. So there's very little to no traffic. Sadly, because it is a town road, when a car does go down it, even though it's our property at the end of it and on both sides of it, we have no legal right to tell them to leave as long as they stay on the road. We'll head over to that. That's the north side of the farm, and we'll get some adventure in there tonight. friends. That's where we're gonna land her for the night. This is kind of just a little woods road, which I need to honestly get back here and brush hog this, get it mowed down. Right up here on this tree is my third and final camera that I am going to replace the card on and change batteries. Now this woods road here is extremely heavily traveled by animals, all sorts of kinds of animals. So I would not be one bit surprised if this one actually does have a dead battery, because it probably got used a lot. Still 1 bar battery left. I can definitely hear turkeys roosting down in the valley. Okay, so the 3 SD cards that I need to check when I get back to my house tomorrow are in my right pocket. Don't let me forget that, friends. Mark my words, those SD cards are going to go through the laundry. And just because it's on 1 bar, I'm going to replace the batteries in this too. Also, I like that on these cameras, you take the whole thing out to change the batteries. You don't got to take it off the tree. So I guess I would say for a long-term review of the Browning Strike Force series camera, I'd give it an A+, because these cameras have basically been on these trees or out in nature for 3 years straight. And I think we should be just far enough out of the way here to where it won't be taking video of us all night. Although maybe be interesting to see if it takes any video of anything while we're out here camping tonight, friends. I think right there is where we're gonna have a little fire. Should be a fun time. Oh, sunk into a mole hole. Man, it feels good to get out here. So tonight for supper, I have some hot dogs from a local locker that I've never tried before. They sound amazing. And then I think I'll pair it with a Mountain House. Fortunately, I do not have buns for the hot dogs. Thought I had some at home. I was mistaken. That's okay. I'll just eat the dogs with no buns. That's a good way to get the full flavor test out of a dog anyways. So they are jalapeno cheddar. I'll have to find a stick. You'd think a guy would remember to put a poker in the truck camper, but I don't. So I'll have to find a stick. I don't know if there's any sticks around here. I'm sure if I look long enough I can find one. I love the sound of late summer. All the crickets at night, frogs. The leaves are just starting to fall. Certain trees, sugar maples, are just starting to turn color. Some of the low-level plants are definitely turning color. I read the foliage color forecast for this year, and right here where I live in southwest Wisconsin is supposed to be vibrant. I guess it's been quite a few years where conditions came all together perfectly for a vibrant fall color. But this year it is supposed to be. Well, friends, I turn 35 years old this month. Technically on Monday is my birthday, which is September 16th. But since Monday is a work day, my mom actually stopped by today and left me with one of my favorite things she makes. The top's a little melted right now, which honestly will just make it better. But those are homemade Scotcheroos. Let me know in the comments how many Scotcheroo fans do I have out there. She gave me a whole pan. I only brought 2 with. I'll have to save the other one until after supper. I'm just letting that fire get going a little bit, get some heat coming out of it, and then I'll go in and get those cold dogs and see if we can make them into hot dogs. I had a whole box of plastic forks and spoons and stuff like that in here, and I took it out this last weekend camping with the family and forgot it in there. So I'm going to try to eat soup with a fork. That should be interesting. I was going to do a mountain house, but I remembered that I had this in here, which I've never had before, but we'll give it a try. Chipotle corn chowder soup. I'll give you a look at what these dogs look like. They smell delicious. Obviously, being from a locker plant, these are not going to be pre-cooked. So definitely we'll have to make sure we cook them well. All right, so we got the dog on the stick. We'll get the soup in the pan next. Ooh, smells like it might have a bite to it, friends. I figured this much with Chipotle in the title. Also, after pouring this in the pan, I'm definitely going to struggle to eat this with a fork. Now, with any luck, the wood won't shift and dump my soup in the fire. In the meantime, I'll start cooking this wiener. Sadly, I don't really have a great way to put the soup container on. It's just getting super hot on one side. Now, last time I was cooking wieners over the fire on the channel, my stick burned off and dropped the hot dog right in the fire. Oh, that smells like it's got a spice to her, friends. I might regret this. I'm just really making sure that I get this hot dog cooked good. Because, like I said, it's from a locker plant, so it's not pre-cooked. Definitely a little breeze out there. It's not really affecting us too badly down here on the ground level of the forest, but up in the treetops I can hear it coming through. Oh yeah. It's sizzling in there. The dog took a little longer in the soup, so I'm actually going to put the soup back on just briefly. I wish I had a spoon. Thank you all for watching my last video too. I had a lot of really nice and generous comments come through, giving me some advice about like my back pain and whatnot. That's all just greatly appreciated, friends. Greatly. This portion of the handle, it's hot. Well, as far as the spiciness of the soup, I'll say this. I've taken one bite of it, and I went to go get my water. And my knee is increasingly getting hot right now. Yeah, she's spicy. It'll hit you right in the throat. That is really good though. Flavor's amazing. Some of you could eat that, no problem. I don't have a very high spicy tolerance, although I do like spicy food. Just not extremely spicy. All right, let me try this dog. Dog got cooked. Woo. That is delicious. And more spicy than the soup. Ooh, wow, that's good though. I would buy both of these again. Again, these are jalapeno cheddar hot dogs from a local meat locker. The meat locker is called Solar Meats, and it's based out of Soldiers Grove, Wisconsin. That's not where I'm from, but it is local to me. It's within a half-hour drive. Friends, I'm not playing this up for the camera. That might be the best dog I've ever had. That's a 10 out of 10 as far as hot dogs. This soup is a solid 7 or 8. It's got a nice spice to it. Good flavor. I think the chipotle is what makes it. Otherwise, it'd just be your standard corn potato chowder. It's been a long time, friends, since we've been able to get out in the woods and just sit and have a fire. There's really no agenda. Just sit here and relax. Well, friends, I'm going to sit here, munch away on my soup. I'm debating on if I even cook the other hot dog. I'm kind of full. I feel like I'm going to be full after this soup. I'm going to sit here for a while and enjoy the fire. And then after that, we'll head into the camper and I'll see you then. All right, friends, fire's about died down out there. I never cooked the other hot dogs, so we'll put that in the fridge. I still have my scotcheroo. There we go. All right, friends, I'm just kind of going to get ready here to start relaxing in the camper. Still a little warm, friends. It says it's 72 outside and 76 inside. I did get a new, I'll show you. I did get a new weather thing. It's Accurite is the brand. Got it at Tractor Supply. Pretty nice, but I gotta eat this. So I've been doing a intermittent fasting now for a couple weeks. And that is basically, I don't eat between 6 p.m. and 10 a.m. And I've been trying to eat whole food, stuff like that. I also have been running a mile every morning. But last weekend we went camping, didn't do that, ate terrible. And now I'm getting birthday presents like this, so I'll get back into my regiment next week though, right? That's what we all say. Well, friends, I got the lights off. It's getting a little late. I'm going to hit the hay. We'll see you in the morning. Plan on going on a nice, crisp, early morning walk. See what kind of views and sounds the woods have to offer us tomorrow morning. We'll see you then. Good night, friends. slept super good last night. So we do have a state highway, I don't know, not that far away. There's a road nearby that's getting redone, so it's just dump truck after dump truck going by. So I do apologize for that. You unfortunately can hear that coming through the woods. Woke up to the sound of turkeys outside the camper this morning, coming down off the roost. I mean, it's literally a dump truck every 20 seconds. Well, friends, let's have a little look around this morning, see if we can take a little gander of the woods here. Well, friends, this is the spot that maybe 3-4 years ago I was walking out through here. It was early spring, and we're right near the road here now. I was out shed antler hunting, and again, this was about 3-4 years ago. And I went, sorry, gotta wait for another dump truck to go by. So I was out here with the mindset of looking for antlers. And I was back there quite a ways, coming up the trail, and I saw white. I'm like, that looks like could be an antler. And I came over to this very spot, right here, and what I saw amazed me. It was an entire skeleton of a very large buck. It looked like one of the femur bones was snapped. It was just the bones at this point. But one of the femur bones was snapped, so, and being only probably 50, 60 yards from the road, almost guarantee it was hit by a car. Made it into the woods this far, passed away. But it was an extremely rare finding because the size of the buck was pretty insane. And as you found out on this video, I keep 8 to 9 cameras out on the property. No, I don't have them all running all the time, but a couple times a year I do have them all up and running. And never once did I catch this buck on any of the cameras. Normally I got a pretty good idea of the bucks that are hanging out around here. I get them on multiple different cameras, but this buck I had never seen on any camera. Another dump truck. I'll be very glad when this road that's near us is done. I believe it was a 15 pointer. I took the skull with the antlers and I had it European mounted. I don't have it up anywhere in my house yet. I wanted to make a homemade little wooden plaque for behind the head before I hung it up. As life goes, it got put in one of my closets and it's still sitting there. But I will throw a picture up of it right here. And as you guys can see, it is quite impressive. I just wanted to share this little spot with you guys because it's kind of special to me because I found that buck there. I was actually looking to see if there was just by chance any more bones out here. But like I say, it's been 3-4 years, so I'm sure they've all completely decomposed. These are like one of my least favorite plants, friends. I'll see if I can bring it over and show you. I don't know if that's focusing or not, but those little things get stuck all over your pants, your jackets, your socks. So friends, at my dad's property, we got the back 40 campsite, which I recently did a camp there. I don't know, maybe only 3-4 videos ago. And that's a very nice campsite. It's off grid. There's no electric there. I do mow it though, so it's a little more well kept. I was wondering, I'm trying to think of something we can call the campsite over here on the north side of the farm. I'm not sure what it'll be yet, but I'll think of something. And then we'll have the back 40 campsite, whatever we end up naming this campsite. I like to use my dad's property, like I've said before, anytime I'm testing out something new and I don't want it to be a failure and be 4 or 5 hours away. Or the guy's got 4 kids in the household ranging from 5 to almost 16. So life gets busy, especially now that school started. Luckily, Lauren's amazing, and man, she does mostly everything. I help when I can and how I can. But she's amazing. But long story short, sometimes I don't have time to go 4 or 5 hours away for a camp. Dump truck. So it's nice to have somewhere real close by, like my dad's property, to be able to come out, get out in nature. Because for me, it doesn't matter if I'm, an hour away or 6 hours away. I just like being in nature, getting out, hearing the crickets, hearing the birds, turkeys, and I like to bring you guys with. Some of you guys don't have an opportunity to come out in woods like this and out in nature. Some do and just enjoy watching it, but some don't. And you kind of get that experience through following along on videos that I or other YouTubers put out. So I do like having a couple sites that we can come to on family property that's close. Well, as you know, all 3 of the cameras that I went to put batteries in, dump truck, still had battery, to my amazement. So those cards should be full of cool things to look at. Dump truck. I wasn't kidding, friends. It's literally about every 20-30 seconds. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'll show you a few clips of what I found on the camera cards that we took out of the cameras. Now next week's episode, hopefully we got some recent footage from those cameras from this week, which will be on next week's video. Now having said all that, thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate the views. I appreciate the support, the comments. I love hearing from you all. I love bringing y'all with on my adventures. It's too beautiful out here not to share it. As always, friends, we'll see you on the next adventure.